Welcome everyone to today's webinar. It's April 18th, 2024, and we are going to talk about the ways that you can utilize the features of JMC's collaboration tools. My name is Rachel Cox. I am on the support to training team here at JMC. I've been with JMC for just a little over a year. I come to JMC after a little over a decade in the classroom. I taught college writing and humanities classes, and then I spent a few years as an elementary administrator. And today I am joined by Amy. Amy, would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. This is Amy Bemis. I've been with JMC since last fall. I was a high school counselor for many years, and prior to that, I was an elementary teacher. I've only ever used JMC, but I continue to learn all the time from these trainings and from the people I work with. So it's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Amy. Let's dive in. We got a lot of great stuff to cover today, so we'll get going. All right, if you have any questions as we are working our way through this webinar, go ahead and put them in the chat feature, and we'll address all those questions as we come to the sections, the end of each section of the webinar. We'll check in with those questions. All right, we've identified that districts need those tools for collaboration. JMC is always innovating to meet the needs of district stakeholders. Districts and families need a unified platform that streamlines data collection and meets the diverse needs of a student's support system. By implementing JMC's collaboration tools, such as the teacher conference scheduler, online registration, and new family enrollment modules, districts can streamline communication, enhance engagement, and strengthen the partnership between schools and families. So we're going to do a quick review here of some of the features that we have that can help promote collaboration. Studies show that children benefit when schools and families have strong relationships. Students are more likely to perform well academically, stay in school, graduate, and do well socially. Teacher conferences play a vital role in strengthening the family-school relationship. JMC's teacher conference scheduler promotes school and family collaboration by simplifying the conference scheduling process for everyone, making it convenient to set up any number of conference dates and allowing families to sign up right within the JMC Family Portal. Online registration is a powerful process that allows you to directly connect with the families in your district and lets them help in the data collection process, ensuring accuracy and saving time in the school office. By effectively implementing online registration in JMC, your district can strengthen the connection with your families and successfully offer and collect the information you need to ensure a safe and productive start to the school year for all children. And JMC's new family enrollment portal streamlines the entire enrollment process, automating data entry tasks and eliminating the need for manual paperwork. The portal simplifies the submission of enrollment forms for families while enabling efficient review and processing by office staff. With improved accuracy and time-saving capabilities, the system significantly enhances the efficiency of the enrollment process, benefiting both districts and families. And I don't see any questions coming in so far. One thing that I will point out is that we actually did a webinar yesterday on setting up your online registration. So if you're interested in that, you can find that training on our YouTube channel to get those preparation steps ready so that your school is ready when online registration rolls out. All right, the 7 ways JMC's collaboration tools will unite your district community. First up, we've got enhanced communication. JMC's collaboration tools facilitate effective communication among teachers, administrators, students, and families, ensuring everyone stays connected, informed, and enabling accurate information sharing. And Amy, you want to take this one away?
You bet. Timely and accurate information is only useful if it's easy to find precisely when you need to find it. Work in collaboration with administrators, front office teams, and teachers to simplify access to relevant student data by consolidating it within one suite of tools.
And you can be sure that your data is secure with JMC. Ensure the security and privacy of student records and sensitive information by providing secure data storage that allows for collaborative sharing of vital information while maintaining the utmost privacy protection instead of paper and pencil solutions.
Enable early identification of struggling students through the use of JMC's collaboration tools. This fosters collaboration among teachers, families, and school counselors for intervention and support, ultimately improving student academic performance and promoting student success.
Encourage collaboration and active parental involvement in students' education by providing access to student records and facilitating communication with teachers with the teacher conference scheduler and online registration.
Utilize JMC's collaboration tools within a web-based platform accessible from anywhere on any device, enabling easy communication and collaboration between all stakeholders in your district.
And lastly, and this is a big one, working in an office, you can reduce your paperwork. By utilizing digital systems, schools can streamline processes, reduce paper usage, and enhance accuracy by incorporating electronic forms and online document submission for teacher conferences, enrollment, and online registrations. So we have a few key takeaways here. JMC's collaboration tools can help you streamline your communication, enhance your engagement, and strengthen partnerships between schools and families. We got a lot of benefits. Our suite of collaboration tools facilitate effective communication between teachers, administrators, students, and parents. And we have a lot of time-saving benefits as well. Your school can save time and ensure accuracy when they collaborate with families to get that data that we need for your students. All right, so we'll dive into utilizing the features of JMC's collaboration tools from a family perspective. So first up, we'll talk about scheduling teacher conferences. Families need a conference scheduling tool that eliminates the need to learn and navigate a separate platform, a set of tools that enhances their user experience and promotes effective collaboration between teachers and families. So to help address that problem, JMC's solution was to integrate a teacher conference scheduler. JMC, looks like we have a bit of a typo. JMC has seamlessly integrated the teacher conference scheduler into the family portal, providing a familiar and convenient tool to collaborate with teachers and find suitable meeting times that fit their schedules. By leveraging the JMC family portal, families can easily access the teacher conference scheduler and engage in efficient communication with teachers. You got multiple work schedules, lessons, commitments, and special appointments. Keeping track of all those things as a family can be really tough. The teacher conference scheduler in JMC Family makes it easy to find the right place in your family's busy schedule for teacher conferences. You can view available conference times for all your students on one page, so you can select meeting times that fit your family needs. All right, so to get started, you want to log into the JMC Family portal, and then you head, head to Teacher Conference Scheduler right over here. The first step, you select the conference day from the dropdown. So all of the available conference days will be listed up there. You pick the day that's going to work best for you. And then you go ahead and select a time to meet with each teacher using the appointment time. So you have a dropdown here that shows you all of the available appointment times. A fun fact, if a teacher is already scheduled for a time, that time won't appear in the appointment time dropdown list. So no chances of double booking. Step 3, repeat these steps for each kiddo in your family to schedule their conferences. Fun fact, return to this page at any time to view or edit conferences you've previously scheduled. Lastly, you can print your conference schedule. If you just come up here, click this print button, you'll see a nice layout of all the conferences, all the conference times for all of the kids in your family. And I don't see any questions coming in right now on scheduling those conferences. But just a reminder here that we've got conference schedules that work for families, this convenient one-stop shop for making all those appointment times. JMC's, we offer a conference scheduling tool that eliminates the need to learn and navigate a separate platform. It's already in JMC Family. You're already using that platform. We've got a tool set that enhances user experience and promotes effective collaboration between teachers and families. Completing online registration. Amy, do you want to walk through this one?
Certainly. All right. So a problem is that the lengthy re-registration process can be lengthy. With paper and pencil back to school registration, families have to fill out each piece of information every year for every single one of their students. And we know they don't love that at all. So a solution is JMC's online registration. It revolutionizes the process of student re-registration by eliminating the need for cumbersome paper forms, deciphering handwritten free and reduced meal applications, and attending in-person registration events. All of those things are challenges for office staff. Through the user-friendly JMC Family Portal, families can easily register their students for the upcoming school year, resulting in more efficient information collection and significant time savings for both school, staff, and families. This innovative approach streamlines the re-registration process, making it more convenient, accurate, and hassle-free for everyone involved. You no longer need to fill out the thick school registration packets by hand. Instead, find a cozy chair in the comfort of your home and easily knock out the forms online. Once your district has everything set up for online registration, you'll be able to answer customized registration questions, provide important health information, access applications for free and reduced cost meals, sign and review forms, download information, and review lunch and tuition and fee balances. So all of that can be done in the family portal. So getting started, log in to the JMC Family Portal and head to registration for the 23-24 year in the menu tree over on the left there to view the registration dashboard and get your kiddos ready for the upcoming school year by providing this information to your school. So the first step is to click on Start, Continue the Registration Process up there at the top to begin registering your student for the school year. So just kind of following directions. Each registration page has a consistent layout to easily guide you through the process. So there's the back button that navigates you to the previous page, the next button that advances you to the next page, and the progress bar, which allows you to monitor your progress throughout the registration process. I think that's super handy because sometimes you wonder how much time you need and how much time you have left. So I love that. The second step is to read the instructions on the instructions tab to follow the district's personalized recommendations for completing the registration process. Then click the next button to continue.
Yeah, and I'll add that on the school side, you can add whatever you want, however detailed you want these instructions to be. That's totally up to you.
All right, so step 3, enter or edit the fields on the contact information tab to submit primary contact demographic information to JMC office. Then click the next button to advance. Helpful hint here, has any of your information changed during the school year? Return to this page as necessary to edit or update demographic information. So that can always be changed and updated as needed, which is awesome. Step 4, enter or edit the fields on the demographics tab to submit your student's personal information to JMC office. Then click the next button to advance again. Step 5, enter your answers to the custom field questions in the appropriate fields or choose from the drop-down lists in the custom fields tab to submit important student registration information to the office. Click the next button to advance. Fun fact for this, questions marked with an asterisk require an answer to continue through the registration process. Provide an answer before clicking next. And this was something we also talked about in our webinar from yesterday with the online registration. So I love how much you can customize those questions and how much flexibility you have. So
yeah, absolutely. Anything that you need to know about a student, you can create a custom field question to get that information at the registration time.
Mm-hmm. All right, step 6, enter or edit the fields on the emergency contact tab to submit your student's emergency contact information to the office. Click the next button to advance. Step 7, enter answers to the health fields questions in the appropriate fields or choose from drop-down lists in the health fields tab to submit important student health information to the office. Click the next button to advance. And again, those are customizable on the office side. So you can decide ahead of time what you want to know and get that information. Step 8, click the download link beside the documents that are required by your school or relevant to your family on the downloadable content tab to begin downloading immediately. Click the next button when your downloads are complete. Step 9 is optional. Click the plus add new student button on the new students tab to add a student from your family who will be attending the district for the first time. Click the next button to continue. Fun fact, if you're not seeing the plus add new student button, this just means that your school has disabled the feature for online registration and you can continue to the next step in the registration process. Step 10, enter additional comments about your student in the comment tab. Click the finish button to submit your student's information. So the things like what it shows on there, they always go to grandma's house on Wednesday after school, or they have dance on Tuesdays, just some information that you think the school may need to know that can be entered there. Want to let the school know that your child attends daycare next door. I guess I kind of talked about this already.
You're ahead of yourself, Amy. You're in.
I am. I'm just so excited to tell these things, I guess. So anyway, like I already said, you can enter any of those specific things that you want to share in the comment tab. Step 11, read through and complete any of the next steps on the Finish tab, then click the OK button to return to the registration dashboard. If you're wondering if the registration submission went through, no worries. An email confirmation will be sent notifying you that your registration information has been received. I love that. That is a definite fun fact because you hate to go through the whole process and never have verification whether it worked or not. So JMC helps ease your mind there.
Yep. And I know working in the school office too, I would sometimes have parents reach out like, did I finish registration? Like, well, did you get the email?
Right.
And, oh, okay. I needed to click this button. So yes, I agree.
Yep.
All right. So we'll take a live look at completing online registration. And while we're looking at JMC Family, we'll also take a peek at signing up for those teacher conferences. Okay. So let me find my JMC Family page here. So the one thing that I would remind families, as you're getting ready and doing registration or whatever for the following school year, the first time they log in to the next school year, they do have to select the new school year on that login page. So you'll want to have them check this out. So I always would have parents call in, I can't seem to register. Did you switch the year? No, I did not. So it's just a good reminder for your families that they want to log in to the new school year. So let's first take a look at the teacher conference scheduler. Oh, and look, I'm logged out. Let's see if I can remember my login information. There we go. Okay, so under teacher conference scheduler, I only have one student assigned to me. If I had several students, I would see all of them. So this is pretty typical for an elementary school where your student maybe just has one teacher throughout the whole day that you would see the teacher here. The conference dates are up here, so I can toggle and find the date that works the best for me. And the appointment times. These are all of the available appointments. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule a conference right away, 4 p.m. And this is set. This, unlike the last thing that we were talking about, Amy, it doesn't like email parents. It doesn't give you that information, but on the office side, later on in this presentation, I'm going to show people where the office can send out an email to everybody who signed up, reminding them of their times. So this is convenient though, because let's say I say 4 p.m. on the 10th. Well, now my plans have changed. I can come in here and change this. So it's conveniently set up that way to allow you to change as your schedule might change. Okay, so that's signing up for one thing I also did want to show you is when you print it, you get this nice PDF here. And it gives you all the information that you would need. So if you had several students, again, it would list all of them, the date, the time, the teacher, and hopefully you would have a room so you'd know where you're going. Okay. So coming back here, let's go to registration. So you'll see now that as I'm logged into the 24-25 school year, it now says register for 24-25. So that language automatically changes in JMC. No updates needed by you in the office. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to start or continue the registration process. Again, I have my registration instructions, and notice in those instructions, you can put quick links. You can put any kind of information that you want. I would often put some of these links, things that I wanted parents to be aware of upfront, because sometimes by the time they get to the end of the registration process, they're like, I'm done, I'm clicking, I'm closing everything out. But if you put some of this at the beginning, they might be more likely to open it up, read it, and see what that's all about. So I'm going to click next. My information is in here from the previous year, so parents can just kind of update, or verify that everything's the same. If they move, they could update that information. Again, opting into text messaging, all of that is right here as well. I'm going to click next. Here's my student information. If I wanted to add a student cell phone number, or maybe now this year they're able to drive to school, I can change that as well. I can also update my students' race or ethnicity. And I must do that. All right, so now I'm going to continue. Oh, it is required. I have to come in here and do all of them. Good to know. Good to know. I can't skip past any of that important information. And here's some of those custom fields. So these are some of the things that my school wants to know about my kiddo. Are there other people who can pick up from school? I'm going to say yes. Grandma can. Can we post photos? No, I don't want my photos posted, or yes. And can they post it to Facebook? Well, no, I said I don't want them posted. So answer those custom questions. And here I can start adding emergency contacts. So I could add new contacts. I'm hoping okay, I'm just gonna skip past that for now, but that's where your parents would add those emergency contacts. Here are those health fields. So whatever it is that you want to know about incoming students' health, this is actually a question that my school nurse loved us to ask. What would you like us to know about your students' physical or mental health for the upcoming school year? And then parents can share anything that they might want to share. So again, work closely with your school nurse if you're lucky enough to have one to craft questions that make the most sense. And then downloadable content. The handbook provides detailed explanation of policy. So if I want my parents to have access to my handbook, that's right here. Anything else that parents might need, some parents and maybe not others, like medical authorization forms, special diet forms, I could put all of that here in my downloadable content for parents to come in and download as they go through the registration process. And if I wanted to add a new student, so say I've got a kindergartner coming into the district this year, they're brand new, I can do that here. And then any additional comments, I can put in the comments for the staff and click finish. And now I see that my form, there are forms that need to be signed. I can click here and go ahead and sign those forms. I get a thank you message that I've completed my registration. I can go ahead and click OK. I would often have parents that forgot to sign their forms at the end, but right here on the registration dashboard, you can come back in and sign those forms. So the dashboard is really easy. I love these check marks that let parents know, hey, looks like I haven't quite finished everything. So they can come back and answer those questions when they're ready. And then those downloadable links again, they'll show up on this dashboard as well. So parents don't have to go searching through all of those registration questions. Everything shows up right there on the dashboard. So that's what it looks like on the family side. That's how families can help collaborate with the school, get that information to the schools. Is there anything I'm missing, Amy?
Sorry, had to unmute. I don't think so. I just like how everything is just listed there. And, you mentioned earlier when you do the message, the school can put the message on there and you can do colors and you can do bold and whatever. I think that's all important. It sounds like little things, but anything that jumps out and makes this process quicker for parents, I think helps a ton. You can see things in bold. Oh yeah, because we all know that not everybody reads all the words all the time. So I love that option.
Yep. Yeah, using bold, underline where you need to, highlighting. Yes. Absolutely. All right, and I don't see any questions. So let's see here. Bring my presentation back up. All right, so just to sum up, JMC streamlines yearly registration by moving paper and pencil forms to an online platform. Online registration eliminates the need for in-person events, saving families and office staff valuable time. All right, and now we'll look at completing the new family enrollment process. And this is actually really exciting because this is the latest portal being delivered in our new look and feel. So a problem that families would have are inefficient data entry processes for new families. Office professionals were the gatekeepers of all data entered into the system, which added work and shut families out from the experience. The solution is collaborating with those new families. With JMC's enrollment system, families can conveniently access and manage their information, providing them with a sense of ownership and autonomy. This shift in responsibility from the office staff to the families not only streamlines the enrollment process, but also ensures data accuracy and reduces administrative workload. So there's no chance that I'm going to spell my own kid's name wrong, right? I mean, unless I have a little typo. So getting that information about students right from the families is going to make sure that it is accurate. It's going to reduce the workload on front office staff by letting families enter it themselves. You can now submit your information. Well, I don't know if we have our new look and feel out quite yet. That's rolling out next, but families can enter their information through the new Family Enrollment Portal. JMC's new Family Enrollment Portal saves families time and frustration by offering one place through which they can submit all necessary registration information, whether at home or on the go. Your prospective new school district will send you a link for their new family enrollment page where you can fill out your family's contact information and student demographic data. When finished, submit the information to kick off the enrollment process with the district. So to start the enrollment process, read through your school's instructions on the welcome page and click Get Started when you're ready to start the enrollment process. So the first step is to enter your family's contact information and the anticipated start date in the Enter Parent Guardian Information section to provide essential contact details for your school. So we need that contact information, parent information, anticipated start date. Anything with the asterisks you'll see is required. So you'll want to enter that and then click the next button. Helpful tip, if you're entering information for a two-parent household, enter both of the parents' first names in the first names field to list both parents as primary contacts. I'll just back up here. So to list mom and dad, you would want to put both of their names here in the first names box. Fun fact, the progress bar monitors your progress toward completing the new family enrollment form through the entire process. So similar to online registration, you got that progress bar letting you know how far you've come and how much you got left to go. Step 3, click the Add a Contact card to enter contact information for people from separate households who are connected to your students. Step 4, enter contact information for additional contacts you would like associated with your children, like grandparents, aunt, uncle, daycare provider in the appropriate field. So you have this ability, you can kind of see down here, add a contact. And once you do that, this card opens up. You can add all the information for anyone else that you want attached to your student. So once you've filled out that information, you click Add Contact to save it, or you can click Cancel. Step 6, repeat steps 3 through 5 to add information for additional contacts you would like attached to your children. So I know at my school, our preschool students needed to have 3 contacts associated with them. So that might be information that we'd want to share in that welcome message. If you're enrolling into preschool, please make sure you provide information for 3 emergency contacts so you can add as many as you want here. If you have an existing contact there, maybe you need to change the information, you can edit by clicking the pencil, or you can delete a contact by clicking on that trash can. Step 8, click the Add a Child card to enter your student's demographic and educational background information. Next, enter your child's name, date of birth, grade, and other important information to share with the school. Step 10, click the Add Child button to save your child's information, or click the Cancel button to discard it. So add a child, fill out their information, and then add a child to save that information. Helpful tip, click the pencil icon next to a name to edit the child's information, or click the trash icon to delete it. Step 11, click the Add a Child link to enter information for another new child, or click the next button to proceed to the next step. Next, enter any additional information you would like the new school to know about your child or your children in the comments field. And step 13, click the Go to Review button to save your comments and proceed to the Review what you provided before submitting section. So now in the new look and feel, this is a fantastic step. So you can review everything that you've provided before submitting that information to the office. So step 14 here says to review the information entered in each section of the new family enrollment form and click the pencil icon if you need to edit the information provided. Fun fact, once you've updated enrollment information, you can return directly to the review section by clicking the Back to Review button, or walk through the remaining steps clicking the next button. So if you needed to review information in the parent and guardian card here, you can click this pencil. And if that was the only one that needed updating, you can come right back to this review page, or you can click through all of the sections of the enrollment form. Step 15, place a check mark in the I'm not a robot reCAPTCHA box to confirm that you're not a robot. Step 16, click the submit button to send your enrollment form to the school. And fun fact, a high five pop-up will inform you that your enrollment has been successfully submitted and will detail next steps. So once you click submit, you get a little pop-up here that gives you a virtual high five, and it'll tell you what's the next step, whether it's look for an email from the school or whatever that may be. And I don't see any questions about new family enrollment. New family enrollment has been around for a while. It's just now coming out in this new look and feel. It's going to be really intuitive. All right, the refreshed new family enrollment portal gives families flexibility to fill out enrollment information when it works best for them, whether that's at home or on the go. Okay, so we've walked through the collaboration tools that families might use, and now we're going to look at utilizing the features of JMC's collaboration tools as a teacher. Amy, would you like to talk about managing conference schedules?
I sure will. All right, so a problem is that sometimes conference scheduling is inefficient. Scheduling teacher conferences through the school office lead to inefficient scheduling and makes it difficult for teachers to communicate important conference details with families and administrators to provide a fully collaborative experience. So it's just too hands-off. Solution, empowering teachers to manage their conference schedules. So the Teacher Conference Scheduler offers a user-friendly tool that simplifies scheduling and coordination between teachers and families for conferences. With this feature, teachers can block off available times and collaborate with families to find the best meeting times, and can email important conference details all in one convenient location. So you're not going to this place and that place to get your conferences taken care of. It's all together in one place. The Teacher Conference Scheduler module allows teachers to fully manage their own conference schedule. Your administration sets the date and time frame for teacher conferences, but you get to set the available time slots for families. Schedule conference times, block off breaks, email reminders to families, and mark family attendance, all in JMC Teacher. So to get started, log into JMC Teacher and head to Teacher Conference Scheduler over there on the left. Select the date from the conference day drop-down list to view and edit scheduled conferences for the specific date. So up at the top, fun fact is families schedule their conferences in the JMC Family Portal. The parent-student drop-down list will be filled in automatically for you. Step 2, which is optional, select a parent and student from the parent-student drop-down list in a time slot to manually schedule a conference, or select blocked off to schedule a break. A helpful tip here, if you need to override the appointment, simply use the parent-student drop-down list to change conference attendees. Step 3, select a location from the room drop-down list to indicate where the conference will take place. Step 4, also optional, enter notes in the comments field to remind attendees of important topics to be discussed during the conference. So maybe you want to make sure that you're going to have a conversation about Sally's social habits or social skills. Maybe you just, you can put something in there so you remember and the parents kind of have it in their mind that you're going to have a conversation. Step 5, click the Save Comments button to save your conference notes. Step 6, click the Print button to print a copy of your conference schedule for quick reference. Excellent. You don't have to go somewhere else to do that. You can do it right from here. And then step 7 is also optional. Click the Email Families button to email an appointment reminder to all scheduled families. Step 8, place a check mark in the Parent Attend checkbox if the family attends the conference to track conference attendance. Schools always like to do that. Make sure you know, is your attendance increasing? Is it decreasing? All those conversations that schools have after conferences. All right, so take a live look at managing conference schedules.
All right, so here I am logged into JMC Teacher. I'm going to come over here to my teacher conference scheduler. All right, so here you have your drop down to select the date you want to look at. And I really love this feature. We did use the teacher conference scheduler at my school. Teachers always want just a little bit more control over their conference schedules, but they don't necessarily need more work in creating this whole schedule. So this is a great solution to give them a little bit more control over who is coming in and when, and their own maybe meal schedule, or if they're trying to go to conferences for their own children who might be in the school. This offers that flexibility, but it doesn't add more work for the teachers. So as families go in and register for conferences, it will populate here automatically. But let's say I got this student here, Keisha Anderson, but I know that this might be a longer conference. There's maybe some additional details we need to talk about. Maybe we've got IEPs that need to be reviewed. So this one might need to be more than 15 minutes. So as a teacher, I can see they signed up here, but I'm going to extend the length. We actually need 2. So I would come in and I can block this off, knowing that we're going to need a little bit more time. Similarly, if my meal schedule is set for my dinner is 5:15, I can come in, I can block that off, and then no one can schedule a conference during this time. So it's a great way for teachers to have a little bit more control over their conference schedule, but it doesn't create a lot of extra work for them to take care of. And like Amy said, you can put comments about a conference here in this comments box. And then actually, if you do email families ahead of time, reminding them of their conference appointments, these comments are shared then with the family. So if there's something in here about, like, let's make sure that we touch base on, X, Y, and Z, or please review the midterm report card in JMC Family. We'll be discussing it at this conference. Whatever that is that you want to remind parents, you can put it in here. And then when you email them, they'll see those comments as well as a reminder of their conference date and time. And then checking that the parents attended if they attend, that just really helps the office run reports on teacher conference attendance. So just helpful tool there that helps the office keep tabs on parents that are showing up. And I don't see any questions on the teacher conference scheduler from the teacher perspective, but it just is a fantastic tool. I love the teacher conference scheduler. All right, so to sum up, offering teachers scheduling tools like blocking off times for meals, conference notes, email features leads to a more collaborative conference experience for all. It keeps teachers from having to go to the office to say, hey, can I have my conference schedule again? Or hey, can you contact this parent? Or those types of things. And it allows teachers to communicate directly with the families. And now we're going to talk about utilizing the features of JMC's collaboration tools on the office side. Sharing and tracking teacher conference details. So we looked at what the teachers do and how they can track and plan their conferences. And now we're going to look at it from the office side. So a problem that people can run up against are cumbersome communication and tracking tools. Office professionals need a quick and efficient way to communicate important teacher conference milestones with families, to track families registered for conference, and to view family participation. So our solution, the teacher conference scheduler, offers a convenient email families button, providing a simple way to notify all families about the sign up period or to send reminders to families who have not yet signed up. Schools can now consider multiple conference dates, ensuring that families who have already signed up for one day will not receive unnecessary email reminders to sign up again. Curious about the level of family involvement in conferences at your school? With the teacher conference scheduler report in JMC office, administrators can view family sign up and attendance information to see which families are participating. Get the names of families who have or have not signed up or attended conferences, along with percentages broken down by teacher with this handy report. So to begin, head to teacher conference scheduler report in JMC office to get started. So come down to the teacher conference scheduler and then report. Step 1, select the date of the conference from the conference day dropdown list to filter the report to a specific conference date. Step 2, select the appropriate radio button to identify which families will be included in the report. So you can include families that have not signed up for conferences, have signed up for conferences, families who did not attend their conference, or families who did attend their conferences. Step 3, click the email families button to send a notification to families signed up to remind them of the date and time they have selected, or to send a notification to families not signed up, reminding them to sign up for conferences. Step 4, select all available conference dates that are associated with a single conference event to inform families that teacher conference dates are open for scheduling or to review their scheduled conference date and time. Step 5, click the email families button to email families, or click the close button to return to the previous page. Step 6, click the search button to refresh the report with the most up-to-date information. So if you have registrations coming in, every time you click search, it'll refresh that and show you the most current information. You can click the print button to save a PDF of the teacher conference schedule or report, or print a hard copy for reference. So we can take a live look at sharing and tracking teacher conference details. Okay, so this time I'm going to come to JMC Office. I'm going to head to Teacher Conference Scheduler. And before I head to reports, which is what we're going to take a look at, I'm just going to quick pop into the settings. And I can see here that an appointment exists. But I just want to remind users that you have the ability here to open conference times. You can lock your schedules, and that will prevent families from making any other changes, or else you can close that period. So as you're setting things up, you probably want it closed. Allow teachers the time to block off their meal times, whatever times they need to block off. And then once you know everyone's ready, go ahead and open that up. But we're going to take a look at the reports. So under reports, I can look at the families who are not signed up. Well, this shows me I've got a whole lot of students who are not signed up yet. I can look at the families who are signed up. And I have one. It's the sign up that we did earlier. So I can see I've got one family signed up. If I want to email my families who are signed up, I make sure I have my radio button selected. I click email families, and this is huge. Multiple conference dates were found close together. So what JMC is asking you here is maybe you want to put all of the dates on here so that I could, rather than only emailing families that have signed up on October 10th, I'm going to email all families, and that will let everybody know what dates they've signed up for, all the families who've signed up on both of these dates. So I'm going to actually go ahead and close that. Otherwise, I can email families who have not signed up, and that's going to be a much longer list. So I can email all of those families as well. All right, I think that just about covered it. Oh, we want to look at families not attended. Well, since the conferences haven't happened yet, none of my families would have attended. But post-conference, those getting that data after conferences have ended, come in here to your families attended, and you can search on either day. And once teachers have put that check mark in the parent attend box, you'll see a list of those names populated here. All right. Did I cover it all, Amy?
I think you did. There's a lot of good options on those lists there. I mean, so much easier than trying to manually do it. I love that. People who haven't signed up, just great options.
Yeah, I agree. And like I was saying, on the parent side of it, they don't necessarily get that email confirmation at that point. But when you email families from the office, letting them know of their conference date and time, they can be assured, yes, my appointment went through. I can go to the conference on the day I picked.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so just to wrap it up, the teacher conference scheduler allows office staff to efficiently email families available conference times, identify families who need to sign up, and even track conference attendance. All right, Amy, would you like to walk us through streamlining registration information?
I would be happy to. All right, so a problem that all schools typically have is too many paper forms to collect. Schools need a variety of ways to collect family information to replace all the different types of forms and papers families need to read, sign, and fill out. The solution: reduced paperwork with online registration. Online summer registration in JMC Office offers administrative teams flexibility in collecting information from families. The feature allows for digital signatures, narrative responses, and quick yes/no feedback, creating a seamless collaborative experience. So preparing custom fields questions. If you're tired of managing stacks of paper forms during registration, JMC Office has a solution for you. Our custom fields feature allows you to create digital forms that can collect important information during online registration. This includes questions about permission for posting student pictures on social media, or whether your child can be administered pain relievers, among others. By using custom fields, you can eliminate the need for physical forms and greatly reduce the likelihood of lost or incomplete information. This not only simplifies the registration process, but also helps ensure that all necessary information is collected accurately and efficiently. So to get started in JMC Office, head to File, Define Custom Fields to get started. Step 1 is optional. You can click the Import button to import custom fields questions from the previous year into the current year view. Helpful tip here, if you've created custom fields questions in prior years, this feature is a huge time saver, as the questions from last year will be copied to this year for you. So you wouldn't have to start over every year. You know, it's nice to just, if you have questions that you like, why reinvent them? You can just import them from the previous year. So step 2, click the Add Custom Field button to add a new question for families to answer during registration. So if there's something new, then you can add new custom fields. Step 3, place a check mark in the current year checkbox to include this question in the current year's registration process. A helpful tip there, simply remove the check mark from the current year checkbox to keep a question on your custom field list, but remove it from online registration for the year. So you can keep that question, it doesn't go away, but you don't have to use it that year. Step 4, enter a question in the name field to define the data you intend to collect during the registration process. Step 5, enter information in the additional information field to provide families with additional instructions related to the custom field question. Then step 6, you can select text, numeric, date, or yes and no from the data type drop-down list to specify the type of answer that families can submit during the registration process. So is it a yes/no question? Is it a numeric question? You can pick those from the drop-down. A few helpful tips: enter a character count in the length field when selecting a text data type to limit the length of a text response. You can just control that amount. And for yes/no questions, choose to skip to a specific question on your queue if the answer is no, by selecting the appropriate skip to question from the drop-down list. So, you know, you've got, can they take medication? No. So then that just moves you ahead. I guess that was a health question, but
yeah, but that's the same kind of thing. We were looking at those online photos when I was walking through on the family side. If you don't want pictures of your students posted, you wouldn't also then have to say, well, can we do it on social media? You can skip to the next relevant question for that family.
Step 7, select the appropriate radio button to define a permanence option. So what that means is the question year specific. It clears the field after the school year, requiring families to enter a result during the online registration process each year. So they have to enter the information again, or you can say that it's year independent, carries over from one year to the next, so families can update information as needed or maintain their answer from the previous year. So they don't always have to re-answer the question if it's something that's likely not going to change. Step 8, click the update button to add your custom field question to the list, or click the cancel button to discard your entry. A helpful tip: click on the pencil icon to edit an existing custom field question, or click the trash can icon to delete a question.
All right.
So let's take a live look.
And Amy and I were in the webinar yesterday talking about preparing these custom fields. So we're on top of our custom fields. So in JMC Office, starting from the home page here, I'm going to come to File and Define Custom Fields. And you can see we've got a lot in here in our demo database. You may have this many questions. And remember, not all questions necessarily apply to all kids. So you could have questions in here that range from preschool students all the way up to seniors in high school. And remember that not every student has to answer every question. You can limit that by grade level, which I think we're going to look at here in just a few minutes. But Amy's right. If you have questions that you've asked in previous years, this import is huge. It's a big time saver. Import all the questions in and then read through and say, oh, maybe this doesn't apply this year. That's fine. You can take that question out, or you can edit it if you want to tweak the wording just a little bit. But that is a way to save yourself a ton of time and to make sure that you get all those fields that you want. Because if you just start retyping your questions, you might forget to ask something you asked last year and be like, oh no, I wanted to get that information. And it's a lot harder to get the information from parents after registration is over. This is a way to get all of that information you need in one spot. So if I want to edit a question that I have in here, I can just click my pencil icon, or I can add a new question. But here is one of those yes, no questions that we were talking about. So I'm going to edit this one. And you can see here, the question is, can we post your students' photos online? Well, this is a yes, no answer. That's the kind of controlling the data that we want to get back from families. And if they answer no, they can now skip past a bunch of questions. So they're going to skip past, can we use photos on Instagram? Can we use photos on Facebook? Well, if the parents have already said, no, we don't want student photos posted online, they wouldn't need to specify which places online. So it's just a way to streamline the registration process for parents. So once you have your question looking the way that you want it, you can update it, you can cancel if you want to discard your changes, but then you can see your list of questions here. And this just means that you have one of those linked questions that the answer to this question is they're linked together. So if you're answering no to this one, you would skip past these linked questions down to the first one here that doesn't have a link. So I don't see any questions on custom field data here. One thing that I will add, though, is I've worked with schools who have those thick paper forms of registration, and they're like, oh, but I need them to fill out this form, and I need them to fill out this form. I need to know if they're doing after school care. I need to know if they're going to participate in the snack program. You do need to know all of those things, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a form for each one of those things. So many of the forms that you're taking in registration can be questions that you're asking right here. So just a different way of thinking about it. You don't need that paper form for each and every question. You can ask those questions online. All right, and since we don't have any questions, I'll talk about adding signable forms. During registration season, it's common for students and their families to acknowledge and sign various school documents. Fortunately, JMC Office offers a solution. Families can conveniently access and sign forms online to complete their registration process. For each form uploaded, important details such as description, deadline, required e-signature status can be entered to keep families informed and ensure that forms are signed and returned promptly. In JMC Office, head to JMC Family, online registration, setup, upload forms to get starting uploading and marking forms for signing. Step 1, click the Add New button to begin adding a new signable form. Step 2, click the Choose File button to browse for and begin uploading the form from your computer to JMC Office. Step 3, click the Upload button to upload the signable form to JMC Office. Next, you're going to want to click the Edit button to edit the signing information for the form you just uploaded. Step 5, enter a description of the form in the form instructions field to provide a more detailed description of the form to families. And helpful tip, you can add pizzazz to that message. So just like we were talking about with that district message that goes out in online registration, anything you want to bring to parents' attention here, you can go ahead, bold it, highlight it, change the color, change the font size, so you can draw parents' attention to those important parts. The next step is to select a radio button to identify which students and contacts will need to sign this form. So you can choose by random. So selecting students by random, you can choose a grade range. You can select students by advisor, by activity, or by a course. So just ways to make sure that the form gets to your intended audience. Step 7, place a check mark in the contact signature required checkbox to require an e-signature acknowledgement from the primary contact. So right here, if you want the primary contacts to sign the form, put a check mark in this checkbox. And here's a helpful tip. You have this contact single signature. So if you put a check mark here, if a family has 3 or 4 children, one signature then would be attached to the form for each one of those children. So if it's the same thing, if it's like a handbook acknowledgement, it would have been the same form for all 4 kids. If you put a check mark right here, a parent can sign one time and it's associated with all of the children in that family. Step 8, if you want students to sign the form as well, go ahead and place a check mark in your student signature required checkbox. You can add a signature deadline date if you want to. You can click the calendar and choose a date that you want those forms signed by. And step 10, you want to click the update button to save your changes or click the cancel button to discard them. Helpful tip: to delete a form from online registration, select the desired form from the list and then click the delete button. So we'll take a live look here at adding signable forms. So from JMC Office, I'm going to come down to JMC Family, online registration, setup, and upload forms. So you can see I've got 2 forms here already. If I were adding a new one, I would come to add new and then click here to choose a file from my computer. Once I've located the file, I upload it. I'll just show you what some of these options are here once you have a form that you want. I'm going to click here and I'm going to edit. And right here, it says signing this form gives your student permission to attend the middle school field trip to the state capitol. So maybe I would want to highlight that this is a permission form. If you don't sign here, your child doesn't have permission to go on the trip. Whatever that is, you want to draw attention to your message. You want to draw your parents' attention to your message to make sure that you get the results that you want. And since this is a middle school field trip, well, I would probably then want to limit it by grade, and it would just be 6th to 8th graders. But maybe it's a specific middle school teacher, and so I want to limit it by advisor and choose the advisor that's taking those kids. Maybe it's a music trip and it's attached to the band director. Whatever that is, you can choose who's going to be getting this form. Again, contact signature. Parents, I need them to sign this. Can they sign it one time for all of the kiddos, or do I want them to sign it 3 or 4 times? That'll be up to you to decide. Excuse me. And then if I want to have a student signature required, I can put a check mark here. I can assign a due date if I want to, and then go ahead and save my changes. And then I can see here all of those, all of the criteria here that are associated with this particular form. All right, any questions on signable forms?
I don't see any.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
Nope.
So we'll keep on rolling here. All right, so to sum up, let JMC's online registration take the place of paper forms handed out during the registration process, from signed acknowledgements to after school plans, and get all of the information you need from families online. All right, now we'll look at how you track family registration progress. Amy, would you mind taking it away?
No, I would not. I would be happy to. Well, a problem that people have experienced is inefficient registration tracking. Who's signed up? Who's turned this in? Who's done that? So with thousands of pieces of information being submitted by families, administrative teams needed an easy way to identify and communicate with families who did not start or complete the registration process. A solution is JMC's registration dashboard. The online summer registration dashboard provides administrative teams with powerful tools to empower their communication and collaboration with families who have not completed the registration process. Through user-friendly filtering options, administrative teams can quickly search for families who require follow-up and have yet to complete the registration. Additionally, the dashboard enables easy emailing functionalities, allowing administrative teams to send personalized messages and reminders to these families directly from the platform. So, hey, you need to do this, or don't forget to do that. That can be done from this dashboard. By leveraging these features, administrative teams can proactively engage with families, address any concerns or obstacles they may have, and provide the necessary support to ensure a smooth and successful registration process. With online registration in full swing, you need a way of knowing who still has to fill out the forms, pay lunch balances, and complete the process. With JMC's online registration progress dashboard, office professionals have a convenient report that includes the registration completion status for all families, lunch and tuition and fees balances, and free and reduced lunch applications, and more. So applying filters, first of all, in JMC Office, head to JMC Family, Online Registration, and the Progress Dashboard to view the progress for each of the students in your building. So the first step is to select the appropriate options to narrow the information in your report from the following drop-down lists. So you can look at grade. It narrows the results to a specific grade level, or include all active students in your online registration report. You can look at family, view a specific family's online registration status by random or all families. So you can pick certain families, or you can look at all of them. For student, that's another option. You can view a specific student's online registration status by random, or view all families in your report. And then by advisor, you can narrow results for your online registration progress to a specific advisor students. So there are a lot of different ways to filter the group that you're going to look at.
And guess what, Amy?
What's that?
Oh, there's even more filters.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. I didn't even look at the picture. I just looked at the words. There's so many. All right, we can also look at balance. Get a quick snapshot of all selected families or students with negative fee or lunch balances. You can look at forms, limit the result to the students or families who have not signed all their forms. Or registration, create a list of selected families or students who have or have not yet finished the online registration process. So many filters.
So many filters, yes.
So many filters. All right, step 2, click the column heading to sort the report by family registration status, family lunch balance, family fees owed, family forms completed, free and reduced application status, or number of students in the building. A helpful tip, you can utilize any combination of sorting options in either ascending or descending order by clicking multiple categories. Step 3, click the little caret sideways symbol. What do we call that, Rachel?
I think it is called a carrot. That's what I would call it.
Okay, that's what I know it in English. So, okay. Click the little sideways caret symbol next to a family's name to reveal more information about the registration status. Step 4, click the spreadsheet icon in the upper right-hand corner of the report to export the report to a CSV file. Step 5, click the reset button to remove all reporting and sorting options and return to the default all active student report. Helpful tip, efficiently communicate online registration status by clicking the email finished families, email not finished families, and email filtered families links in the quick links section. So we'll take a live look at tracking family registration progress.
And I've got to tell you, this is a tool that I used all the time during online registration. So we come to JMC Family, online registration, and then we've got this progress dashboard. And what I often would be looking at would be families who haven't finished. So I would filter by families who haven't finished their registration yet, just to keep an eye on it. Right now I've got us in the 24-25 school year. So of course we don't have families who have this finished quite yet, but I would keep tabs on this. We'd kind of be counting it down in the office, because once, you get right up to the start of the school year, we'd maybe have 4 or 5, and then we can start getting a hold of those families. I could email the families not finished. So if we said, if we'd sent out information to our families that our registration was open for, say, 2 weeks in July, well, we get through the first week, I would send out, email not finished families, hey, just a reminder, you got another week to finish up registration. If it was getting down to 2 days left in that window, hey, you got 2 days left. And then when the window had closed, then you maybe still got those 5 families that maybe I want to email them, maybe I might give them a call, but also to email families who have finished at the end of that registration window. Hey, thanks for finishing your online registration. And then they feel assured that that's done, and you've done a good job of communicating and collaborating with those families. So a lot of ways to filter these results. If you want to look at who hasn't signed those forms, you can do that here. All of the families who haven't filled out forms, that's super helpful, especially if there are forms that you want to make sure you get back, like technology use forms, those types of things that it's important to have. I worked at a Catholic school. We had tuition, so we would want to take a look at families who had negative fee balances. Maybe they didn't pay that registration fee. So a lot of ways to sort this information, but this is so helpful. It's all in one spot. And I didn't know this existed until, maybe just a couple months ago. Being able to get all this information right here, use it. Clicking on your little carrot icon to see information for families, dropping down right here. I don't have to go to the tuition fees module or, to find the contact information. I can just click this here and I have the information I need on what is done, what's not done, and so on. So this is a really powerful tool to use as you're waiting for those registrations to come in. I think, did I cover it all, Amy? I think
you did. Yep. You remembered all those filters.
There's just so many. There's
so many good options.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And I don't see any questions about our registration dashboard. So we'll sum up this section and remind you, we have one convenient platform that lets you monitor registration information, like which families have completed registration, which have forms assigned, or which have lunch or tuition fees balances. We'll talk a little bit here about tracking new family enrollment alerts and forms. So we've looked at families who are already in your district, and now we'll look at those new families who are submitting new family enrollment. So a problem that schools would have are ineffective new student registration processes. Office professionals had no way of knowing when a new family had filled out and submitted their application for enrolling their child in the district unless a family reached out directly to the school. Solution, we've got new family enrollment alerts. As soon as a family submits their enrollment form through JMC Office, the staff members are promptly notified on the main office homepage. This immediate notification enables office staff to quickly review the application and initiate the enrollment process for the student. So you've got these alerts in JMC on your homepage. Anything that comes in, you've got these alerts. But here we can see we've got a pending family enrollment submission. The new family enrollment portal allows families to quickly enter new student information online and share that information with the school office for review. After families submit their enrollment information, school staff can immediately view the information and choose to reject or accept the new family contact and student information. Accepting the information automatically creates the family and student records in JMC Office for you. To get started reviewing submissions and accepting new families into your district, log into JMC Office and go to enrollment forms, family enrollment forms. So there is a way to get there here in the menu tree, or like we showed you in the previous screen, you can click the pending family enrollment submission. So you'll have that alert. Once you click there, it would take you directly to this page. Step 1, select pending from the drop-down list to review data submitted by families that has not yet been accepted to the office. Next, you'll want to click a family name from the incoming contacts list to select the family information to review. So pending here, and then if you had more than one family, they'd all show up here. And a helpful fun fact here, JMC will list families in the order that their submissions were received to ensure first come, first served status. Step 3, review the contacts in the proposed new contacts box to verify that the information submitted is ready to be imported. Helpful tip, if you find a contact that you do not want to import, remove the checkbox from the import contact checkbox to discard part of the submission. So if there's a new contact here and I don't want to import it, I just remove this check mark. And why might you not want to import it? If you've got a pre-existing record in JMC, it'll be marked red with the import context checkmark removed. So it's just a way to avoid having duplicate contacts. So maybe this primary contact of a student is someone else's emergency contact. We already have them as a contact in JMC. So we don't want to have duplicate contacts in your databases. So if you're like, oh, no, we already have that person in our system, we can just remove that part of the submission. Step 4, review the proposed new students list and choose the appropriate building from the building drop-down list to assign each student to a building. Helpful tip, to import the family record but skip specific students, simply remove the check mark from the import student checkbox. So step 5 is optional. You can click the print button to save a PDF or print a copy of the new family registration information for future reference. So if you have all of this information up here and you want to print it out, you can go ahead and do that. So like I said, you can choose to import or not import the contact information, and then the same with the student. You can kind of pick and choose pieces of that registration form or that enrollment form, sorry. Step 6, click the accept button to import family and student information, or click the reject button to omit the data import from the application. Fun fact, after accepting a family, information for the next family on the incoming contacts list will display, allowing you to keep that process of accepting families rolling. Helpful tip, when you accept or reject a family's application, JMC will email the family the predefined message set up in the enrollment forms family enrollment settings, providing families with the next steps they need to proceed. So we can take a live look here at new family enrollment alerts and forms. Okay, so like I said, from your homepage, you'll have a pending family enrollment submission. If someone has filled out an enrollment submission, you will see that right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll see it automatically opens up the enrollment forms page here. And I have this set up pending. So I'm going to see enrollment forms that are pending in the office. I only have one form, so just one family here. I can see the date that it was submitted, and I can review the information here by the family. And then I can select here. I know that this is going to be a primary contact because the way the family filled it out, they're filling out that they're the primary contact for their student. If I scroll down here, here is additional contact information. So this is emergency contact information. And I noticed that at my school that I worked at, we had a lot of cousins. So if one kiddo had grandma listed as their emergency contact and a cousin also needed grandma, we wouldn't need to put that in multiple times. We would just need one contact for grandma that could be associated with several students in the school. They didn't necessarily have to be siblings. So once I review this, and if I decide this all looks good, I can keep that import there. And then I can come down and I can look at the students here. I can see additional information about my student. I see the student's name, middle name, grade level, birth date. There wasn't a cell phone listed here. So a lot of information I can get all the information I need about the student here. And then also if there's a note from a parent, so those extra comments that parents can enter when they are filling out the enrollment form, it'll show up here, anything that I need to know about this student. And then once I've reviewed everything, if I've decided, yep, this all looks great, I want to accept this information, I can click accept, and that brings the student into JMC, into my database. I don't have to go in and enter all of this information again. Or if I've decided, no, we're not going to accept this information, maybe there's just some stuff missing, maybe you want to talk to the parent first, you can click the reject button, and then that will send a rejection email, which we're going to get into next, where you set up those emails saying that your enrollment has been accepted or your enrollment has been rejected. So I am going to go ahead and click accept, and now this is all cleared out. I don't have any other pending contact or pending enrollment forms, so I'm good to go there. Any questions on accepting enrollment forms?
Don't see any.
Don't see any either. All right. So we've got communicating enrollment next steps. That's what I was just talking about. Amy, will you walk us through?
I sure will. All right. Sometimes it is difficult to communicate with potential families. Schools need an efficient way to inform families about the next steps in the family enrollment process after the administrative team has processed applications. The solution is automated enrollment emails. They can be set up to provide important details about next steps to families who have successfully completed the enrollment process, been accepted into your school, or who require additional information. By leveraging this feature, you can ensure timely communication and provide families with clear instructions on what to expect and what actions they need to take. Guide new families through the enrollment process and help them connect with your school by creating custom instructions and messages that families will see in the new family enrollment portal when submitting an application to your district. Keep the enrollment process rolling by providing follow-up steps for families once their information has been accepted or rejected. So to create custom applications, submission messages, go to the enrollment forms, family enrollment settings in Office, JMC Office, to get started customizing your enrollment portal instructions. That was a mouthful. Step 1, place a check mark in the new family enrollment application checkbox located in the application access box to allow new families to access the enrollment application. So up there at the top. Step 2, enter your school's custom message in the application submission message box to display a message to the family after they have submitted an application. So it could create a customized message there. Step 3, enter your school's custom message in the accepted application message box to email to the family upon accepting the application in JMC Office. So thank you, your application was successful. Whatever message you want to convey there to let them know that they did this successfully. When an application is accepted, JMC will email the family your message and include the family's JMC username with a link to set their family password. So that's the next step. Step 4, enter your school's custom message in the rejected application message box to email a message to the family upon rejection of the application in JMC Office. So a helpful tip, include information such as contact Jane in the office at a certain phone number to set up an appointment, to communicate next steps in the application process to your families with the accepted or rejected messages. Step 5, click the save button to save your custom messages for new families. All right, live look.
Okay. So in a similar space here under enrollment forms, we're going to come down to the enrollment settings. So the first thing is this turns the application process on and off. So one maybe a helpful tip, I figured out I used to turn this off during online registration because every so often I would have a family that would go here to new family enrollment rather than online registration. So I'd turn that off just so that they didn't get confused, and then we wouldn't end up with an existing student trying to register as a new student. So this allows you to turn new family enrollment on and off. Here is your application submission setting. So if you're thinking way back to the beginning of this webinar, when we were talking about submitting enrollment information as a family, we said once you have completed the process, you'll get a message saying, hey, you submitted your form. Well, this is that message right here. So thank you for submitting your new family information. We'll review your information and get back to you. So whatever it is that you want to put in that message, that just lets families know they submitted the form, more details to come. Then you've got your accepted application message. So whatever you would want an accepted application message to be, whatever you want to communicate with families, like the helpful tip said, putting in the name of a front office person and a phone number, that's just maybe a way for families to feel at ease, like, oh, if I have any questions, I can reach out to this person. And again, you would have a rejected application message. make sure that you're giving some information about who to contact, how to reach out to that person so that they can answer any questions about why that application was rejected. So adding those messages in, once they look the way you want them to, you go ahead and click save, and then it's done for you. It's automatic. As families are filling out those applications, this work is done once. You do it once, and it works for every new family. And I don't see any questions coming in on those custom enrollment messages. So we'll sum up this section by reminding you that JMC makes it easier for Office Pros to track new enrollment applications with application alerts, and the automated email feature keeps families informed about the next steps in the enrollment process. And if you are ready to learn more, we have coming out soon our refreshed new family enrollment portal. So we gave you a little sneak peek of that. Is enrollment turning into a flurry of paperwork? Then you could use our refreshed new family enrollment portal. From 24/7, 365-day enrollment access to registration collection templates, it's packed with ways to cut down on data entry and make families feel welcomed. If you'd like a tour of the new portal, you can reach out to training@jmcinc.com. And next week, we have a webinar digging into the features of this refreshed new family enrollment as well. JMC news and upcoming events. Our teacher conference scheduling tool, you know all about it now. With JMC's teacher conference scheduler, teachers can block off time slots, giving families a crystal clear view into their availability and the power to set up all their teacher conferences from one place. If you're interested, you can request the module at sales@jmcinc.com. And have a ball at JMC Summer Kickoff Conference. Who's ready for summer break? Let's kick off the fun at Summer Conference in Minnesota on June 18th and in Iowa on June 20th, where JMC will treat your team to sizzling games, prizes, food, fully loaded swag bags, and JMC innovations. To top it off, speaker Joe Beckman will stop by with his guitar for feel-good tunes and a talk on why human connection matters. Did we mention the school who sends the most attendees to the conference will win a piping hot pizza party for their entire building? You can grab your tickets today. And you can play with scheduling in the JMC Sandbox. If you want to experiment with scheduling without dirtying up your live data, you can enter the JMC Sandbox. Our training video will show you how to use a JMC Sandbox site to think outside the box with scheduling, with schedule building. You can dig into this innovation over on YouTube. And we have two new reasons to cheer: JMC's Gate and General Store, from streamlining event admission to an easy way to sell, track, and report on school merch via your own virtual store. These portals will help boost school community engagement. Stay tuned for the fall launch. And on behalf of myself and Amy and all of us here at JMC, thank you for attending this webinar, and thank you for choosing JMC.